Hello and welcome to busyworksbeats.com. Today I'm going to show you how to take a loop and turn it into a full composition. So we're going to break down why it's so difficult to turn a loop into a full composition. Mainly it's because if you have a guitar loop that just loops 4 to 8 bars, you have no way to express more than 8 bars because you didn't play the guitar. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to flip it for trap and for other genres, because trap, we could utilize a lot of effects, but other genres, you can't just slap on halftime and portal and do all this stuff. It's not going to be the same thing. So what we're going to do is grab a trap loop from our Discord, go to discord.gg/busyworksbeats, click at the top where it says busyworksbeats, scroll down to where it says show all channels, okay, and turn that on, and you'll see all these loops here. We have underground loops, new jazz, all types of stuff. So we're going to focus on trap for now. Usually people give you their terms. So for example, he says he wants a 50-50 split if you guys get a placement. Here's his contact email, here's his Instagram, and that's basically how you guys split it up straight down the middle for the most part. So when people upload their loops, they usually put their terms right there. All right, so let's play his track. All right, so let's download this one. That one's very full. Let's see what this one is. Now, some loops are built to be the complete melody, whereas other loops are built to be building ground if you want to add your own melodic stuff on top. So the beginning of these feel like we can add more material, but keep in mind that some people make melody loops to where you really can't add anything. There's already a lot going on. So let's download these quickly. For now, let's import both loops in the case that we change our mind about a loop. So let's just drag them into FL Studio. We're going to create audio clips. And from here, what we're going to do is set the BPM. So I'm just going to grab this mute tool and mute the second loop that I didn't initially hear. So most of the time, loops are built in either 8 bar to 16 bar increments, or they're built like this one, which is the composition on the left. And then there's these little gaps in the loop. And these gaps represent, the different sections. So if you guys want the multi-tracks, this is how you would slice them out. Now it's very important you set the BPM to match the actual loop in order for the bars to line up perfectly. So that's what some people do to be considerate for you guys as producers. Now, not everybody does this, okay? So what we can do is, since this is a very full loop, we're gonna chop this up into pieces so that we can take out some of the pieces that we want to interject our ideas with, if that's the right grammar. Now this melody has a ton of layers on it, so this is way more than I initially thought. Okay, so we're gonna grab all these sub layers. Let's hit Control Shift, highlight all those slices, and just pull them to the left. So now they're out the way. We're gonna mute the original because I wanna build from the building blocks. Now again, not everybody's loop making is this way. Some people just give you an 8 to 16 bar loop, but I'm gonna show you how to flip both these loops today. All right, so now we have the pieces. We got to make sure the BPM is the same, in this case 140. There's a little overlap here, which usually happens if the tail of the previous section overlaps, which is fine. We're just going to hit Shift, or excuse me, if you're in old FL Studio, hit Shift Alt and right click. But it's important not to move the file because this is where it is in time. So this is like a siren. Let's just turn that down. And then let's see what this piece is here. So this saw is eating up a lot of space. Let's just turn it way down. I like it, but let's turn it down. And let's see what this layer is here. So the bass, I might want to redo the bass. So we're going to mute that layer. I like their bass, but I just want to have some control over the end loop here, or the end melody. Now that sawtooth we're going to turn off. This looks like a sawtooth. Okay, so these are just different combinations of the sawtooth, I assume, just by the waveform. So we're gonna chop those. And then here's just different versions, I guess. So these are all just different layers. So we pretty much just have a siren, a sawtooth, and a bass. So let's categorize what these things are. That siren is a top line, and then we have the chords as the saw, the harmony. Here's the contrast section here, and then we can add rhythm. So most people, again, they give you enough material to where you add your own rhythm. So typically people would just drop in drums and call it a day. But what we're going to do is mute their contrast layer and produce in D sharp minor. Now I had to turn their instruments down because they're very full. A sawtooth is going to be a very full sound. So all I have to do here is fill in the contrast and rhythm section. Let's load up Toxic Biohazard. Let's go to the settings, go to the wrench tool, turn on monophonic mode so that it slurs the notes. And I'm going to turn off my keyboard. Make sure we go to MIDI and turn on our, oh, you know what? I unplugged my keyboard. Hold on, guys. So now your keyboard should show up. Make sure we hit enable, and that will keep the keyboard on and turn off the sound. So now we got to find D sharp. All right, we're going to change the preset here. Let's click in here, go to default. And I recommend starting with the top left quadrant here. We're going to modulate to about 20 and then turn on operator 2. Turn on the mix level for operator 2. And then I like to pan mine left and right. This is a starting sound. Okay, so from here, what we can do is start writing in the key of D sharp minor. Now, again, we started off in the bass. So what I'm going to do is pull this down an octave, -12, and just turn it up so I can hear it. So now I'm just going to go through and loop this. So let's hit Control, left click on the black bar here, turn the metronome on. And now I'm just going to come up with different ideas for the bass using D sharp and then the 5th of D sharp, which is A sharp. So if you guys want a quick little bass template, I'll show you guys the notes we can add. Plus I was playing the wrong note. So basically you can play the root note. Let me just show you guys in the piano roll. I don't know why I'm trying to describe this. Also, we need to go over here, go to unsorted, find toxic biohazard. So here's toxic biohazard. So we're playing D sharp in the bass. I'll go up an octave so you guys can hear. So this is called the root note. We can play the sharp tonic, the flat tonic, but let's keep it basic. We can, for bass lines, you can play the tonic, which is this note here. You can play 7 notes up from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's called the 5th. We can play a sharp 5th. We can play the octave, meaning the same note up an octave. Up 12 notes. Okay, so these are all the notes we can play. Okay. Now if you want to get fancy, we can add in what's called the perfect 4th, which is 5 semitones from D sharp. In that case, that would give us G sharp, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can add that 4th in there. So it just gives you a lot of notes to work with the bass. So I'm not telling you guys how to play bass. I'm just giving you the notes that work in the bass. Okay, so I'm going between those notes, okay, depending on how many notes I need. Let's hit Shift Q. I learned that from Infinite. Shout out to Infinite. Just got to make sure the notes overlap. Now on the plugin itself, I forgot to turn on monophonic mode. So let's go to the front panel and make sure it's mono so it doesn't overlap notes in terms of tone. And now let's work on the sound itself. So the main thing is understanding what you actually have as a puzzle piece in this 4-component system. Okay, so now we have the contrast layer. We created our own contrast layer for this track. Now if I want to change it up, what we can do is create what are called expression layers, or simply just change out the harmony. So right now this sawtooth is playing a certain chord progression. All we have to do is find a different sound that has that same aggression. It's not going to be the same sound here, but the ear is not going to care because it will have the same musicality. Let's modulate the top left here. Modulate it a little more than usual. It's going to create like a saw type sound. Let's open up operator 2 and do that same panning technique here. Now here we can allow polyphonic. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is create chords, and we're going to replace the harmony or even stack the harmony. So their chords go da-na, and it sounds like a perfect 5th. Okay, so they're playing some form of just a 2-note chord in this case. So this is what it sounds like he's playing. Now here's where you have to understand how to reverse engineer music theory. That's going to take time. You guys can learn. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/music theory. So here we're playing D sharp to A sharp. That's a perfect fifth, 7 notes away. It's called a perfect fifth. Now if we stack this where A sharp is also in the bass, you get a power chord. So that's basically called quintal harmony. So let's start here. Try not to complicate it. Basically, just pick a root note. Okay, listen to the top note. Count down 7 notes. That will give you the root note. And that's how they got that sound there. And then it goes like that. So let's just turn this sound down here. Now we can transpose this entire chord. So let's turn the metronome on. Hit shift, pull this down. And it seems like they hold that same chord. So it's not your traditional triad. Now what we're gonna do for this sound, because their sound kind of pitch bends, we're gonna add what's called portamento. So here it's called glide mode. We're gonna turn up the glide mode. So when you play different chords, it goes like that. Now the higher the glide mode, the more it bends. There's another way to bend notes, but we're not going to focus on that. We're just going to do it at the source sound. Now let's see if this layers with the original harmony to see if we're close. Let's go back. It's hard to hear with the siren. I didn't realize there's a double siren. Now they do a little something different, so it goes like that. So there's some kind of pitch bending that they're doing. So it's this note here. We're just going to double click, add the slide note. Now again, this takes music theory and understanding of how to do this technique. So this is not something that is just a cookie cutter thing that you guys can do to flip loops. This is skill. And then they pitch slide up here. So that's how they get that bendy sound. The only thing is we want it to trigger that chord before it pitch bends. So you can only do this with FL stock stuff. Let's try to thicken out the sound here with a unison and let's detune it a little bit, make it a little more Reese-y. Now we need to make the sawtooth a little bitier. Let's add another operator, operator 3, and let's detune it. That will make it sound distorted. So that's the technique. I don't like the tonality of the sound. Let's see if we're in the right octave. No, okay, so they did more of a compressed sound in its higher octave. So now it's just about getting this sound to saturate up to that sound. Let's add some drive. So I'm going to add my own thing, my own twist to the chords instead of just using their chord. It looks like I deleted this section too, which was a dumb mistake. Darn it. Let me see if I can find those chords again because I accidentally deleted them. So I think it was this one. Oh no, okay, never mind. I'm mistaken. I forgot we got rid of the siren layer. Okay, Okay, so now we're going to blend that with our harmony, or just make it a completely different section. Let's go to our bass. Let's add a little more modulation. Make it cut through a little bit more. I feel like this just needs more unison or more detune. It needs some kind of filter too. It's a little bright. Okay, so now we've essentially remade their harmony, but the thing is now we can do different things about that. So what it comes down to is these four components: the top line, the harmony, the contrast, and the rhythm. Right now we have two open spots, the top line and the rhythm. So let's go in and add a top line. Now for this one, we're gonna use presets from Salter. We're gonna go to the lead section and just try some of these sounds here to save some time. So I like that rhythm. Dun, dun. That's more of a bass. So let's swap out the contrast layer and create this. So now the bass wants the chords to do something a little bit different. So here's where we're going to go back into the harmony and change stuff. Now I'm going to take away this pitch bend thing just because I think I don't want to overuse it. And I'm going to turn down portamento just for time's sake and pull back the drive. And now I'm going to syncopate the chords a little bit. So it adds a little more bounce. Let's hit shift, pull this down. So now I'm gonna use that slice tool to re-trigger these chords. Just gonna do vertical slice. So good old-fashioned slicing. Now at the end I want to so I'm gonna pull this down to A sharp or B flat. So now we're trying to fit in that groove of that bass. So now we can add little, little stuff in the top line. So let's go to a different pattern, pattern 3. And now let's add in some top line. Now typically this is a top line expression when it's not a full melody. So we're just adding these little things like that. Alright, so the reason it muted is because we're playing the same instrument. So we need to really just duplicate this. So let's right click, clone this so that it doesn't mute the other instrument as we play the sound back. So my ear wants to hear something like that. So let's re-record that in. Adding that little turnaround. Alright, so those little turnaround notes are going to add that energy. So that is what I call a top line expression. So you can copy those same 4 components and pull them into what I call expression layers, where they're not the entire thing. They're usually exaggerations of the thing. So in this case, we can add these expression layers. This opens up our arrangement possibilities because now we have more puzzle pieces that we can add, but they still fit into their categories. Let's work on this bass a little bit. Let's drop it down an octave. It says -12, but it's not playing -12, so we got to manually go into here. So this is about volume. Let's hit Shift Q, quantize those beginning notes. Slide these over, hit Alt. Let's hit Shift Q, quantize everything. Alright, let's copy the same section here, but then swap out the bass. So here's where we're just utilizing the simple components and what we have and just swapping out that specific section. And we can work on this chord sound and just widen it out. Just trying out different tones here. Let's start from the beginning. I feel like this bass sounds different. So now we still have a top line area. So I'll show you guys here what we could do really quickly. We could just copy the chords, go to a new pattern. I learned this technique from 9 Angyal, if I'm saying that right, on YouTube. Toxic Biohazard. Let's go to default. We're going to modulate the top left quadrant so that it creates like that buzzy sine wave sound. And we're going to paste the MIDI in here. And then we're going to click inside the piano roll. We're going to hit shortcuts here. We're going to hit Alt A and arpeggiate the notes. Then we're going to hit Alt R, turn off pattern mode, turn on what's called bipolar pan mode. So it randomizes the panning position per note. This is a very quick way to come up with the top line. And then we can add that rhythmic top line over here. So now we're adding rhythm as well. Now we just got to work on the sound to make it cut through. I'm adding a third operator for tone. Let's even raise this up 12 semitones. Let's work on this bass. I thought the bass sounded different before. So now we have enough layers for the entire composition. We have rhythm and top line, we have harmony, and we have contrast. So that's the fullness to a composition. So see how it evolves over time. We initially have their chords, then we swap it out for our chords, then we add our top line, then we add our chords, then we do our bass line. We even switch the bass line on the second half. So this just shows the different ways we can mix and match our puzzle pieces once you understand the system. Now let's route everything to the mixer, and in the mixer, that's where we can start adding creative effects. There's a billion things we could do, but gross beat is going to be very common for underground type stuff. Now here we can add gross beat. So there's a million things we could do in gross beat. I can sit here all day and go through presets. Now if you don't want the bass included, we could just separate it from the group. So now we're separating the bass and the melody. And then again, there's many ways we could add gross beat. We could blend it in. That adds like a sub rhythm. So I think let's try blending the layers. But then on the volume tab, let's try creating like a swell manual. Just gonna right click and make a single curve. So this way the rhythm doesn't 100% block the main melody timing. I wonder if it's triggering. I wonder why it keeps going to this one. I don't know if these are linked in some way. I'm not sure how to unlink those. So what I'll do is I'll copy gross beat, use the second one only as a volume. So I'm not sure if it's reading the volume control or not. Let's turn off. way of a little bit dynamic. So then all these decisions that we're making are completely creative decisions. You don't have to make these decisions. And then we can ungroup stuff, like let's say we want the chords to not be grouped. So now only the top line stuff gets mangled. You guys will get the project files for free. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio. So here, one more time from the beginning. So as you guys can see, with these 4-component system, you can't go wrong when it comes to composition for melodies or for entire tracks. If you want to learn more, go to busyworksbeats.com/music theory. Peace out, guys.